This exhibition is deeply personal, unavoidably political. It's about transition, freedom of choice. It's about political, social, and personal rejection. To understand who I am as an artist, it's maybe interesting to speak about this complexity of identities. Identities are not simple and fixed positions. It's a process of becoming, and different, sometimes contradictory identities can coexist. Imposed identities are social expectations based on a gender, nationality, a religion, a race, the way we talk, the way we dress. Until I was a young teenager, I didn't feel comfortable in being a girl. I wanted to be a boy. I grew out of that phase, but it was because I understood that boys had more freedom, and the way the society built the path for a female child was not something that I felt comfortable, and I recognized that from the early age that it's not something that I fit in. Now I use my body and I use my voice as a woman to speak about that. Želja da se žensko tijelo ukroti, da se posjeduje, da se preda, da se sakrije, pokrije, to nije ništa novo, to je nešto što je zajedničko bez obzira na naciju, religiju i nažalost to je nešto što još uvijek traje, ta borba se nastavlja. Every idea that we have is formed by those forces around us. So self-reflection is actually a reflection of the circumstances that we are in. Through my works, I also try to talk about very complex things with a simple gesture. For example, these small white panties, underwear. If you move the ribbon, the bow, just slightly down, what does it mean? What that becomes, and why the bow in the first place is put on the underwear for girls. These portraits, for example, in the exhibition, they can be seen as a family portrait, but actually it's about the beauty, about a need to accept the change. It's about the way how our image is manipulated through the technology. We keep on looking in our own face and seeing the flaws, and we want to have one generic face which would secure us, but then at the same time we realize how that's similar to covering the face, taking out the freedom to be different. Working on the XU body images was a process which was challenging or complex, but extremely beautiful and interesting, because I've worked with my daughter who is 9 years old, and her ability to see a female body without these restrictions or presumptions in such a beautiful, free way. And she had a beautiful lightness towards seeing what the female body could look like. And the drawings she made, I enjoyed so much seeing, because in a contrast to the writing on the Bosnian girl, these drawings are actually empowerment. They depict the possibility that our bodies have and can carry. As a very young artist, I made a work, Bosnian Girl. It was more than 20 years ago, very soon after the war ended. The work was a direct response to difficult issues I had to face. So it was an act of resistance to imposed identities against all those who wanted to define me as a certain person that needs to belong to the certain context. Over the years, I witnessed people claiming it, carrying it, adopting it to their own context, and it's just a proof of what I was trying to achieve, creating the work that speaks to everyone about how isolated we could be and how wrong is actually to define. I wanted to embed this message on my own body, so it became inseparable. It's something that is my scar that I will continue to carry, but then in the same time, this body of mine became just a symbol, and it became a mirror. Ironically, this work over the decades, it became something that started to define me. You know, I was being defined as Šejla Kamerić, the artist who made the Bosnian girl, Šejla Kamerić.